talk English.
I am not here to make friends. I've never felt this way before. She is not here for the right reasons.
Oh, wow. It's the prolonged middle-distance stare that really sells it.
Yeah.
I can, almost hear the dramatic string music swelling in the background right now.
I mean, I've been practicing in the mirror, but if you've watched American TV or talked to Americans lately, you have heard these exact phrases.
100%. You literally cannot escape them.
Today, we are decoding reality TV English. We're doing a deep dive into how the fabricated drama of early 2000s television sets has just completely rewritten everyday American English.
It is such a brilliant sociological phenomenon because, there's always been this cultural assumption that reality TV is just mindless entertainment, like junk food for the brain.
Totally. Just a guilty pleasure.
Right. But if you look at the linguistics, it is actually this massive real-time laboratory for language creation. I mean, we're walking around quoting people who were locked in a house together 20 years ago.
It's wild when you put it like that. We use their survival tactics to navigate modern life. The vocabulary of the screen is basically the American subconscious now.
It really is.
Yeah.
So where are we starting the breakdown today?
Let's start with category 1, the dating shows. Giants like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. You take sleep-deprived people, cut them off from the internet, give them endless champagne, and demand they find a soulmate.
Talk about an emotional pressure cooker.
Exactly. And that environment birthed this highly specific, totally hyperbolic language. But what's fascinating is how Americans use it today.
Yeah, they use it to playfully mock their own lives. It's the language of ironic over-dramatization. Let's look at the cornerstone phrase here. Here for the right reasons.
Whoa, the classic.
Right. Within the show, it is a deeply serious accusation. It means a contestant is, seeking television fame instead of genuine love.
Yeah, they just want a brand deal.
Exactly. To be here for the right reasons means your motives are pure. But its migration into the real world completely flips that earnestness on its head.
Because nobody says this in a romantic way in real life. Think about where you actually hear this. You are at a horribly stale corporate networking event.
Oh, with the flimsy name tags and the dry cheese?
Yes. Everyone is aggressively handing out business cards. You lean over to a coworker and whisper, I just hope everyone here is here for the right reasons.
Which is just so funny.
It is entirely ironic. You're taking high-stakes emotional language and pasting it over a situation that is aggressively boring.
And that juxtaposition is the entire point. It softens the cynical reality with self-aware humor. And, the irony only gets deeper with a phrase like, I've never felt this way before.
Oh, this is my absolute favorite one to use. Okay, imagine sitting in a cafe. You take a sip of a brand new, overly complicated seasonal latte.
Like a pumpkin spice something?
Exactly. You set the cup down, you look your friend dead in the eye, completely straight-faced, and you say, I have never felt this way before.
And then you just break character and laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous. On the show, contestants say this line after knowing the lead for maybe 3 days. The isolation demands that every emotion be the biggest emotion ever.
But in everyday conversation, we use it for a vanilla latte. Or like finding a really close parking spot.
We are intentionally inflating the mundane, which actually connects perfectly to the next phrase, my journey.
Oh, the journey. On these shows, sitting in a mansion waiting for a date is relentlessly referred to as a journey.
It's never just a process, it's a journey.
Right. And now, if a friend takes 3 weeks to decide what color to paint their kitchen and gives you agonizing daily updates,
oh, the worst.
You look at them and say, wow, picking out eggshell white has really been your journey to self-discovery.
Yes. Whenever something is being artificially inflated in importance, you deploy journey with this slight knowing irony. It calls out their narcissism without starting an actual fight.
But wait, there has to be a limit to this irony, right? If a friend goes through a genuinely terrible breakup, I'm not going to use reality TV jargon to describe it.
Well, actually, there is a very notable exception here. And that word is blindsided.
Oh, yeah. That carries a completely different weight.
It does. And the reality TV ecosystem, being blindsided, happens when a contestant is unexpectedly eliminated or betrayed by a trusted ally. They just didn't see the knife coming.
But that one isn't a joke anymore.
No, not at all. Linguists point out that this term fully crossed over into mainstream, serious American English. It completely shed its irony.
You hear it in heavy contexts, like, I was completely blindsided by the layoffs, or I was blindsided by the divorce papers. Nobody's laughing.
Precisely. It became a legitimate descriptor for sudden negative shock. Because genuine trauma still requires vocabulary, and this word captures the surprise, plus the feeling of betrayal.
It's about survival, which explains why an entirely different genre of television hijacked our workplace vocabulary.
Oh, we're moving to category 2.
Yes, category 2, survivor phrases. If dating shows give us the language for mundane emotions, competition shows give us the language for the corporate jungle.
It is a flawless psychological mapping. These shows are essentially accelerated simulations of office politics. You live with people you didn't choose, you collaborate for resources, and you outmaneuver them.
Which brings us back to the phrase I used at the very beginning, I'm not here to make friends.
The ultimate reality TV villain declaration.
Right. On the island, it signals ruthless gameplay, but when we drag it into the modern open-plan office, it's so defensive.
Oh, completely.
Picture your first day at a new job, you don't know anyone, you put your headphones on, organize your spreadsheets, and eat a sad salad in silence.
Just keeping to yourself.
Yeah. And you text a friend, look, I showed up, kept my head down, I'm not here to make friends. It makes light of feeling antisocial.
Or it safely acknowledges your own ambition without making you sound like a sociopath. And that workplace mapping gets even more profound with the phrase voted off the island.
Which is the literal elimination mechanic on the show.
Right. Secret votes around a fire and your torch gets snuffed out.
Yeah.
But in the real world, it's the go-to way to describe professional rejection.
Like saying, the new guy was so toxic, he got voted off the island after a month. Meaning, he was fired. But getting fired is traumatic. Why frame it like a game show?
Psychological distance. Framing a termination as a game mechanic distances us from the harsh reality of, well, late-stage capitalism.
That makes so much sense.
If someone is fired, it feels like a personal failure. If they are voted off the island, it's just the rules of the game. It absolves us of the guilt of outlasting them.
It takes the sting out of the corporate machine, and naturally, you avoid getting voted off through the alliance.
Ah, yes, the alliance.
Do you hear this in the office all the time? Like, who is in your alliance? You're just asking who will back up your slide deck in a meeting.
But using that word carries this fun, slightly sneaky undertone. It acknowledges that you are playing a game.
But then there's one word from Survivor that went the exact opposite direction.
Yes.
Tribe. The tribes literally start off trying to destroy each other on the show.
I know. But in modern culture, tribe lost its competitive edge entirely. It transitioned into a sincere marker of human connection.
You see it on coffee mugs and in yoga studios. Find your tribe.
Exactly. People say, my work tribe is the only reason I haven't quit. We took a word meant to divide people, stripped away the malice, and repurposed it to express a genuine desire for community.
Which is beautiful, but, eventually your tribe is going to start fighting.
They always do.
Your alliance is going to annoy you. And that brings us to category 3. The housewives, drag culture, and the general reality TV lexicon of conflict.
The language of social friction. And the influence here comes from Big Brother, the Real Housewives, and the deep roots of ballroom and drag culture.
Shout it out to RuPaul's Drag Race. Let's start with the classic defense maneuver. Throwing someone under the bus.
A widespread survival tactic. It means sacrificing someone else to save yourself. And like Blindsided, it operates on a sliding scale.
So it can be a severe corporate betrayal. He threw me under the bus in front of the regional manager.
Or it can be super playful, like, I'm throwing you under the bus. I told my wife it was your idea to order another round of drinks.
Right. And all this bus throwing inevitably leads to the absolute crown jewel of this vocabulary, drama.
Oh, drama has immense social weight. On a surface level, reality TV thrives on interpersonal conflict, and drama is the shorthand for it.
But how Americans wield it today is wild.
It really is. It evolved to mean unnecessary gossip-level friction.
It's a conversational shield. If a pipe bursts in your basement, that is a crisis. But if two friends refuse to speak at a dinner party because of a slight from a month ago,
that is drama.
People constantly complain, I just don't want drama, or why is there always so much drama at work?
Because by labeling it drama, you actively invalidate it. You're saying the emotions are performative. You distance yourself from the absurdity. You aren't in a fight. You are an observer of someone else's drama.
It is a brilliant way to dismiss feelings without engaging. Which brings us to my absolute favorite part of the deep dive. The fuel for all that drama. Tea. or spilling the tea.
Oh, the linguistic history here is incredibly specific.
I am so ready for this.
Spilling the tea means sharing the gossip, the inside info, the unvarnished truth. But it did not originate in a corporate boardroom or a dating mansion.
Nope.
It originated in Black and Latino drag and ballroom culture decades ago.
Yeah.
Tea literally stood for truth. It was brought to the mainstream heavily through Drag Race and social media.
And it completely jumped demographics. You have suburban moms asking each other for the tea at neighborhood block parties.
They really do, but there is a very strict tonal boundary with this phrase.
Oh, you have to read the room.
Because of its roots in vibrant social subcultures, the tone is perpetually casual and excited. You cannot force it into a sterile environment.
Right. If you are in a quarterly financial review, you do not turn to your chief financial officer and say, okay, spill the tea on these profit margins.
I mean, you would get voted off the island so fast.
I would definitely be throwing myself under the bus there.
It violates the boundary. It sounds inauthentic because it belongs to social intimacy.
Which brings up a great question about another phrase from that exact same ballroom lineage. Shade, or throwing shade.
Yes.
This broadly means disrespect, but the mechanics seem very specific. If I just look at a coworker and loudly announce their idea is stupid, is that throwing shade?
No, not at all. And this distinction often gets lost. Direct insults are just insults. Hostility is not shade. The fundamental requirement of shade is subtlety.
Okay, so it has to be indirect disrespect.
Exactly. Deniability is the core mechanism.
Yep.
If you throw shade, you are insulting someone in a way that if they confront you, you could theoretically widen your eyes and say, "What? I didn't mean it like that."
You can play the victim.
Right. Saying your presentation was garbage is an insult. But saying, "Wow, it is so brave of you to present an idea like that without doing any market research first,"
Oh, that is lethal.
it really is.
Because you are technically complimenting my bravery, but absolutely destroying my competence.
That is shade.
Mhm.
It requires a level of wit that a blunt insult simply does not.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered the phrases. Let's look at the serious versus ironic chart. Because knowing the dictionary definition isn't the hard part.
No, the hard part is the performance. Americans operate on a complex matrix of irony here.
Right. Some words live comfortably in both worlds, like blindsided and throwing shade. They can be totally serious or playfully exasperated.
But then you have phrases that demand an ironic delivery. My journey. Or, I'm not here to make friends.
If you use those sincerely, you will sound completely unhinged to an American ear.
You really will.
Yeah.
It requires an invisible wink.
Oh.
And this connects to our vocabulary focus for today. We need to distinguish between mainstream, pop culture, irony, and satirical.
Break this down for us.
Sure. Mainstream means widely accepted in everyday life. Pop culture refers to the entertainment that's currently popular.
Got it.
Irony is saying the opposite of what you mean for effect, while being satirical uses humor to critique something. But the most powerful device at play here is dramatic irony.
Dramatic irony. That's a literary term, right?
Yes. In theater, it's when the audience knows something the characters do not.
Which is the exact experience of watching reality TV. We sit on our couches, knowing full well who is secretly forming an alliance or about to be betrayed.
We hold the dramatic irony. But when we take those phrases and use them in our own lives, something profound happens. We cast ourselves as the knowing audience of our own lives.
We break our own fourth wall.
Exactly. When you say, "I'm here for the right reasons" at that boring networking event, you are stepping outside the moment. You're looking at an imaginary camera and acknowledging the absurdity.
We use it to cope with the mundanity and friction of modern life by pretending, just for a second, that we are characters in a heavily edited narrative.
Which is just a brilliant coping mechanism.
It totally reframes everything.
Yeah.
Reality TV isn't just trashy culture. It is an incredibly potent linguistic factory. We outsourced our emotional vocabulary to producers in editing bays.
They literally gave us a script to navigate office politics, social friction, and the boredom of a Tuesday afternoon.
Which leaves us with a deeply philosophical question for you, the listener.
If our casual language relies so heavily on manufactured television situations to express how we feel, what does that say about how we view ourselves?
Are we constantly filtering our experiences through casting and eliminations? Are we all subconsciously narrating our own reality show to our tribe?
It makes you wonder if you're the hero, the villain, or just trying to survive the episode.
Diffusely. So, take a look at your own conversations this week. Which reality TV phrase have you actually heard Americans use?
Or which one are you going to try out?
Drop it in the comments. Bonus points if you use it in a sentence. Listen for that invisible wink next time someone talks about this journey. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Catch you next time.